Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. I got a new pair of pants with no holes in pockets. Got a few coins in there and I like the way they sound. Every song sounds better when everybody sings along. Gonna spread those coins around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Like a magic trick, those coins find hands that need. It takes so little to stand on solid ground. A little bit of independence brings so much peace of mind. Gonna spread that joy around. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. You can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Now the thing about joy is it's hard to contain. Once it's on the move, and no telling where it's bound. I know you'll feel better when we all feel better. Gonna spread that love around. There's enough to go around. Spread a little sunshine, you can make the darkest day seem a little bright. Spread a little sunshine, be a ray of light. No time like the present to make the future bright. Spread a little sunshine, make the future bright. Sunshine, make the future bright. I just want to express a little bit of gratitude to Nancy Garrison, who shared her guest room with us last night so we could be well rested and show up on time. Thanks. But now we're going to dig in to the depths of gratitude, and digging is hard work. I have some friends who post daily gratitude on their social media pages. And I think that's a nice practice. There's good science that supports a daily practice of gratitude, measurable evidence that gratitude increases your happiness, improves your quality of sleep, even lowers your blood pressure. So yes, measurable results. Be grateful. And I love these friends, but honestly, some days their gratitude is just weak. They're grateful for coffee. I mean, aren't we all? But is that the best we can do? They are grateful for a beautiful sunset. Sure, gorgeous. Yes, be grateful. But shouldn't we at least sometimes dig a little deeper? And of course, sometimes we do. I know that health is always at the top of everybody's list in gratitude. So much of our overall life satisfaction relies on our health. Absolutely a foundational thing to appreciate. But then what? Brené Brown has said that what separates privilege from entitlement is gratitude. So let's dig a little deeper. In part, isn't being grateful for our own health actually being grateful for the decent insurance coverage that our jobs have given us? Isn't it also being grateful that our parents could adequately nourish us as children so we didn't develop any lifelong maladies? If we keep digging, we might find gratitude for our parents' parents, who they were, what they looked like, where they came from, that allowed them to pass on that ability to feed and care for the kids. Keep digging. If you look like me, odds are that you grew up where the air was a lot cleaner than the neighborhoods where people who didn't look like us grew up. Family. Isn't that always the top of everybody's gratitude list? The people who love you, even when they don't like you. The people who choose you and who you choose as family. That continuity, the connection. Dig deeper. And remember that your family was perhaps not torn apart when one parent had to leave to find work, or was imprisoned for crimes that some people never pay for. I was never sent away for my own safety. Generations of my family were not intentionally separated to stop the spread of our language and our culture. Be grateful. I know I'm grateful for the roof over my head and the food in my belly. Thank you for breakfast. But, let's be honest and know that the roof over my head is usually many square feet of air-conditioned space. And the food I have is well beyond sustenance. It's usually delicious and comforting. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't feel guilty about what you have and what you're grateful for. I'm grateful for the excess that I have, and I'm truly grateful for any excess that you might have, because I like you and I want you to be happy. Be grateful for all that you have. And then what? I grew up in a household where the luxury of education was a reality. My dad, not only did he not finish high school, he never started high school. He just went straight to work and eventually joined the Army when he got old enough. And after that, he was able to get a decent job and go to college. And all of that allowed me to finish high school, to go to college, and not be stooped over from the weight of debt. So now I can have that roof over my head and good food every day. But I know that the GI Bill that paid for my father's college education was not given out fairly. He got a boost that men of color with whom he served did not get. My roof and the food in my pantry are a direct result of that. So when it comes right down to it, my friends, me, maybe you, we're mostly grateful for being middle-class white people who come from a long line of middle-class white people. So be grateful for that. I know I am. Because we are who we are. We have what we have. Be grateful. Let that make you happier. It's a benefit of gratitude. Get a better night's sleep. Have lowered blood pressure. But then what? I find it amusing that two men who were ideological enemies came up with these sentences. First, from Leo Tolstoy. I sit on a man's back, choking him and making him carry me. And yet, assure myself and others that I am sorry for him and wish to lighten his load by all means possible, except by getting off of his back. And then in his succinct style, Dwight Eisenhower proclaimed, a people that values its privileges above its principles soon loses both. If you knew there was no heaven, would you still be kind? If you knew there was no hell, would you change your mind? It's not a question of faith or the way that you believe. It's who you are down deep. So make your mind up before your time's up. You don't have time to waste, because the end of the world is never far away. When they're pounding on my door, when they're calling out my name, will you stand by me or deny that we're the same? Till the moment of truth, you never really know. But if you mean to stare down trouble, maybe that's the side you'll show. So get your plans made before it's too late. You don't have time to waste, because the end of the world is never far away. When he takes you in his arms, what color will you be? Angry flame red or pure white mercy? The angel always knows on your very last day. If your whole life was bright or gray, so get your soul right before your last flight. You don't have time to waste, because the end of the world, the end of the world, the end of the world is never far away. Please know that guilt has no place in gratitude. You have what you have, be grateful. You shouldn't have any less. Should you? I don't know. I know there are areas where I should have less, but that's me personally. We should all embrace what we need to feel fulfilled, safe, happy, secure, appreciated. It isn't one size fits all. But too often, in the way that our world is organized, our fulfillment comes at the expense of others. Too often, we're led to believe that we need to be on top. We need to be better than. And that's where I think gratitude really pays off. Because material gain and status, it gets you some happiness and some well-being. But then we get used to things being rewarding and pleasurable. We take the good for granted. And it takes more and more to get us there. We hijack that positive feeling of gratitude to simply reinforce our ego. But we don't have to. I believe that true gratitude is rooted in humility. We simply did not earn all the things that we are grateful for. When we combine our gratitude with humility, we find that our health is a little dependent on our behavior, but a lot dependent on the luck in our stars. Because doesn't every kid deserve nutritious food? Doesn't every kid deserve lead-free water out of the tap in their home and school? Doesn't every kid deserve to breathe clean air? But we know that poor kids don't always have decent lunch programs. We know that Black kids are the ones with lead in their water. And we know brown kids are more likely to live near polluting industries. And that shouldn't be luck. I know the problems are huge, the solutions are complex, but we can at least declare our luck alongside our gratitude. I've been lucky, and I'm thankful for all that luck has brought me. When we dove deeper into our gratitude for family, we saw that we were allowed to maintain connections through generations. No one broke up our family through Jim Crow practices that caused that great northern migration. No one separated us from our fathers through biased criminal enforcement and sentencing. No one erased our heritage. And these issues, they run so deep, but we can at least acknowledge their continuing effects. We took a harder, deeper look at feeling grateful for our home and discovered that it was financially easier for some of us to get an education. And it's easier for us to get a decent mortgage because we look like the bankers. Institutional change is so difficult. But we can recognize that the overarching economy has changed and is changing, and not for the better. Privilege isn't inherently a bad thing. It just is. But when we can see the places where our privilege bumps up against someone else's oppression, then we can see an opportunity for change. But we actually have to look for it. President Kennedy said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them." How do we do that? I don't know. I can't answer it for you. I can't even answer it for myself, but I do know that there's no shortage of health. There's no shortage of food or shelter or education or happiness. There is enough. So we don't need to hoard those things. And we also don't need to sacrifice the things that truly make us feel safe and happy. But I also know that it's easier to take a step forward when you have a safety net. And some of us have the ability to weave that safety net. put your money on a man who says his faith will not rule, but still puts his trust in God. I still believe we will someday reconcile. I still believe every once in a while. Out in the heartland starts to rain, a chain reaction across the floodplain to bury the truth of how the West was tamed by men in uniform and men in chains. I still believe we will go on for miles and miles. I still believe every once in a while. All the clouds gather and the skies will not clear. You can throw the doors open, there is no shelter here. We can only hope for you, only pray for you, only offer our tears. Raise your voices in the street, send a message to your king. You're his blood and sweat, give your hearts and minds for the right to speak and sing. I still believe the truth will come back in style. I still believe every once in a while. I still believe we will look back on this and smile. I still believe every once in a while. Someday soon, I want us to be grateful that we help the next generation, all of the next generation, have gratitude for their health, their family, and a roof over their head. I want to be grateful that we help the next generation, all of the next generation, have the luxury of being grateful for coffee and a sunset. May it be so.